MashaAllah, tabarakallah. I think what I said at the introduction did not do justice to trying to say a little bit about the ruh of our beloved and dear Sayyid, and through his connection and his love to the Prophet ﷺ, hopefully in your hearts he instilled that same connection, inshallah, that love to the Prophet ﷺ. A beautiful lecture, and just making me think about the very small touches of the Prophet ﷺ and how important the physical dimension of his relationship was with his Sahaba, the sense of feeling and the senses of touch, like holding the hands, expressing that compassion through the way that he looked at people, the way that he softly spoke to people. We know from the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ would talk to people, he wouldn't just speak without looking at them. In fact, not only turn his face, he would turn his entire body and his shoulders towards them when he would speak to them. And this physical dimension of the sohbah and the presence of the Prophet ﷺ is often one that's not talked about. The Sayyid man really draws attention to those very, like, those lata'if, like those very small, not small, but what we might think of as small subtleties in the way that he interacted. How important the physical touches are, and how much of that we have lost. In the Quran it says, and this is when we talk about akhlaq, what is the Mawlid about? It's about encompassing and embodying ourselves those akhlaq of the Prophet ﷺ. It says in the Quran, إِنَّكَ عَلَىٰ خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. We have made you on the best of characters. That character, all of the major things that when we think about ethics and morals, also includes things like holding the hand when he's teaching somebody, the way that he's smiling at somebody, the way that he's looking at somebody. Akhlaq in those minor details of the Prophet ﷺ is why the khuluq is azim. The great khuluq, azim, is sometimes in the smallest of those details. That's the look of the Messenger ﷺ. And people often ask me, like Shaykh Uthman was saying as well, they ask about why are you doing Mawlid? What is Mawlid about? This is what the Mawlid is about. And the Mawlid is about the akhlaq of the Prophet ﷺ in all of its different facets. And when Sayyidah Aisha was asked, what was the character of the Prophet ﷺ like? Just imagine being asked a question of this magnitude. To somebody, I mean, you see him say, man, I'm sure he could carry on for a couple of hours talking about these beautiful stories of the Prophet ﷺ and the other speakers today. Imagine you ask somebody who had the sohbah of Sayyidah Aisha, being asked a question about what was the khuluq of the Prophet ﷺ. Just imagine what you would, how would you, where would you start? Where would you begin? And look what the answer was. Kana khuluquhu khuluqul Quran. She encompassed it in one line because she knows that she cannot give this detail. Somebody who's lived with him in such closeness, as I mentioned, sharing the room of the Prophet ﷺ, his character was the Quran. His character was the character of the Quran. So the Quran embodied, the Quran walking, speaking, interacting with people. That is what the Prophet ﷺ said. That's why we are gathered here today, to understand the Quran through the Messenger of ﷺ and through his akhlaq. We will break for the Adhan, Isha Salah is happening. And after Isha Salah, please everybody stay. We have food for everybody present here in the majlis. And after the Salah, we'll ask the Imam also to do dua for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and for all of us here gathered today. From myself and from all of the organisers here, Jazakumullah khairan. We haven't had many English speaking events here, something that we do want to start. Inshallah, the blessing of Sayyid Ma'an will be a great start to achieving more success in events like these. Wa ma'alayna illa al-balagh. Jazakumullah khair. Can I request the